Hello there everybody and welcome to the video. My name is Samuel Adua from A.O.D and we are back today with another worst to best episode. Today's band is Arctic Monkeys, so without further ado, let's get into it. Number 6. Humbug. Humbug was released in the summer of 2009 and marked a creative shift and a new direction for the band. For the record, they recruited Queens of the Stone Age frontman Josh Homme to produce the album alongside longtime producer James Ford. The first single released on this album was Crying Lightning, which is by far the best track on the album, reaching a respectable number 12 in the UK charts. The other two singles released were Cornerstone and My Propeller, which reached 94 and 90 respectively. With the exception of Prissy Visitors, the album doesn't boast many good album tracks, with songs like Dance Little Liar and Secret Door feeling fragmented and unstructured. Overall, this album feels like a band that are not too sure what sound they are aiming for, and it is prominent throughout the album. Number 5. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. After a long 5-year wait for a new Arctic Monkeys LP, finally we were offered something new and fresh, but also a rather polarising album. The direction of this album is significantly different to the heavy guitar work on AM, with the band heading towards a more glam rock and psychedelic pop sound, similar to that of Lou Reed and David Bowie. The album is fairly consistent across the board, with solid songs throughout, but perhaps with just a couple of standout songs to mention. The first single to be released from the album was 4 out of 5. This song is one of just a couple on the album to feature a traditional chorus. This song is also one of the most peculiar on their album, with a bridge that screams Bowie, with the choice of chord progressions and the use of backing vocals. My other favourite on the record is album opener Star Treatment, which for me boasts the best keyboard hook on the album and also has some of the best vocal work on the album too. This album also saw the band score their 6th straight number 1 UK album. Number 4. Suck It and See. 2011's Suck It and See was certainly an improvement from 2009's Humbug, with the re-emergence of fuller, much more hook-fueled choruses. This is prominent on the lead single Don't Sit Down Cause I Moved Your Chair, and also on the B-side Brick by Brick, which is also on the album. The second single to be released was the Hellcat Spangled Sha-La-La, which has a great chorus and musically is the best on the album, with all the band playing great parts on their given instrument. The album opener, She's Thunderstorms, is also noteworthy, with its brilliant use of crescendoing and smooth transitional work. Library Pictures is also full of great energy and would slot in nicely on the band's predecessor, Favourite Worst Nightmare. Number 3. Favourite Worst Nightmare. Favourite Worst Nightmare was the band's second album to be released and came just 1 year after their debut. The album was the first to see new bass player Nick O'Malley brought into the fold to take over as Andy Nicholson left the band to start working his own projects as a DJ and with the band Reverend and the Makers. The album reached number 1 in the UK charts just like its predecessor, with singles like Brian Storm and Teddy Picker being very energetic, which is in keeping with the first record. Another great single is the ballad Fluorescent Adolescent, which has become a band classic and is one of the best-selling singles of 2007. Another standout track on the album is album ender 505. For the longest of times, 505 was played at the end of the gig, and also was played live several times with the inclusion of Miles Kane, whom Alex Turner also has a band with, the Last Shadow Puppets, who've also released a couple of decent records. Number 2. AM. AM is the 5th album to be released by Arctic Monkeys and is one of the band's most commercial albums to date, and also the best-selling album of the decade on vinyl, selling 73,000 units. The first single on this album was Are You Mine, which was originally intended to be released as a standalone single for Record Store Day in 2012, but ultimately made it to the album and also brought back a lot of lapsed Arctic Monkeys fans. The second single, Do I Wanna Know, made it to number 11 in the UK charts, which is the highest since 2009's Crying Lightning, and is a much more down-tempo song with the return of heavier and edgier guitar riffs. There are 4 more great singles from this album: Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High, which has a very addictive bass line, One for the Road, Arabella, and my personal favourite, Snap Out of It. The album also features great guest appearances from Pete Thomas, Bill Ryder Jones and Josh Homme. Number 1. Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. Arctic Monkeys' debut album is the fastest selling debut album in British music history, shifting 360,000 copies in its first week. Since then, the album has gone on to sell over 1.8 million copies in the UK alone. The whole album is littered with great riffs and melodies from top to bottom, with the energy being there all the way through. The singles I Bet That You Look Good on the Dance Floor and When the Sun Goes Down have now become 21st century classics, and both made it to number 1 in the UK singles chart. As well as this, fan favourite classic Mardy Bum is also a wonderful piece of indie pop songwriting with its great guitar and vocal hooks. In all honesty, the whole album could have been released as singles and would have done decently well in terms of sales and in the charts. The only thing that could enhance the album for me would be the inclusion of the single Leave Before the Lights Came On, which was released very shortly after the album and was also the last song that Alex Turner wrote before he achieved fame and fortune. Okay, so thanks for watching everybody. Like the video if you like it, don't if you don't. Anything else in the comment section below. My name's Samuel Dewar, and until next time, I'll bid you adieu.